So a name I don't have on any of my teams, and this is someone I talked about as a fade coming into the season for me personally, Spencer Strider. So his ADP coming into the year, 28.33. This was in March exclusively. So March drafts, basically a second round pick, maybe third round in some leagues, fourth highest among starting pitchers, but he's backed up everything he did last year and maybe even more. So last season, 38.3 strikeout rate. This year, so far, 42.4. So he's striking out batters at a higher rate this year than even he did last year. 9 or more strikeouts in 6 out of his 7 starts. The one that he didn't get 9 strikeouts in, he had 8. So he's doing everything he could ask for. 2.70 ERA. Number 5 ranked starting pitcher currently in Yahoo leagues, behind Garrett Cole, Joe Ryan, Zach Gallen, Justin Steele. I think I have all of those other pitchers on my roster, at least somewhere, but I do not have any Spencer Strider.
I don't either. He wasn't a pound the table fade for me, but it's two things came up which kept me from drafting Strider. One, he'd only done it once. He'd had one dynamic season. And
Right.
2, this is a big thing, and we talk about this a lot with starting pitchers. We like to see 3 pitches. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, whatever. His 2 pitches are dominant. He's a lawnmower, man. I feel like every time he pitches, you get the big strikeout game. He's nasty. He's got a swagger to him. He's obviously tied to a Braves team, which helps. And in leagues when I look at leagues where I have my better teams, it's like in one league I was in first place. I got knocked down the second this week. I'm like, oh, what's going on there? Oh yeah, the Strider manager is just passed me, So you're going to feel the footprint. If you don't have Strider, you're going to feel it because he's going to be on a lot of championship teams this year. We have a thing in Yahoo called MVPs, which shows how often a player is rostered on, I think, the top 500 Yahoo teams. I haven't looked at it yet this year, although it's around the time where I put some stock into it. I'm sure Spencer Strider is high up on that list because he's a right answer at pitcher. And man, when you have a pitcher who's cooking, you think of, I don't mean to open up an old wound, but you think about when Jacob deGrom was healthy on the Mets.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The great thing is every 5 days, you're like, I have a date with Jacob deGrom. I'm just going to sit, put on SNY, listen to Ron, Keith, and Gary, who we obviously love here, and watch deGrom dominate for 2 hours and watch the bullpen blow his game at the end of it. Which
not score any runs. Yeah.
Spencer Strider's like that. If you roster this guy, when he's pitching, you have it marked off, and whatever happened to you that day, it's raining out, you have a bad day at work, your dog ate the couch, doesn't matter. Spencer Strider's going to strike out 11 that night. You're going to be happy.
Yeah, he's the closest thing. I mean, deGrom's on the injured list right now. We'll see how soon he comes back, but Strider is the comp there. And I think it's not an unrealistic one, totally reasonable. And yeah, I mean, there were certain days where, deGrom had a deeper arsenal, but there were some games where it's like, I don't need it. I'll throw 2 pitches, and if they can hit it, great, and I'll adjust. But some days he felt like he only needed 2. And, Strider is an incredibly intelligent pitcher too, always looking for ways to improve, has reverse engineered some of Jacob deGrom's pitches, so he knows he's a comp too. And really backing up what he did last year, just like what you said, my only hiccup with Strider going into drafts this year is that he hadn't done it over a full season yet, and it only happened once. I think he ended the regular season last year with kind of an oblique issue, if I remember correctly. So there were just a couple things in my head that made me push him back, especially in a year where I was comfortable waiting on starting pitching, where I wasn't going to be super aggressive out of the gate. So that's basically why he's not on any of my teams.